Hello? We're at the field house. We're over by the swimming pool. All right, so let's get it going. Again, thank you for joining us this morning. One of the reasons I've kind of started to say that I wanted this group particularly to come together because we all kind of know each other, and we're either we live in North Lawndale or we work in North Lawndale. We've moved here or whatever, but for whatever reason, this has become our home or is our home. And even though we know each other, there's probably a lot we don't know about each other. Just because the nature of the work that we do, we get going and we read and we're planning and talking. We don't really get a chance to slow down and really find out who our neighbors are, who our friends are, and that sort of thing. There's kind of 3 questions that you could answer or ask whoever you're walking with. Who are you? Where are you from? And where are you going? So that could be used as kind of to get the conversation going. So I thought this would be a great chance for us to walk, talk, connect, talk about home, which is kind of like the inspiration for this walk. You know, what is home to you? What does home make you think of? When you're here in Chicago and you see certain things or you experience certain things, you're like, this is home. And kind of, I'd like us to share that with each other, you know, as we're walking and talking. You know, what's home? You know, why is this home? What do you remember about home growing up?
I mean, like back in the day when I was growing up, we went to the Church of God in Christ and everybody wore long skirts. But when we saw them, it was more like, what are they? Like, is it a cult? You know, because they don't talk to people seriously. When they see people, they don't speak. They just go in and out the church. It's not conversations to be had.
And yeah, the pastor's not here. He's in Philadelphia.
So they live stream the pastor?
Yeah. And he's not called the pastor. He's called the
bishop,
the controller.
Controller.
If you go to their website,
or
if you look them up.
is this his title?
Yeah.
Bishop Omega Shelton, the General Overseer?
Overseer, is that what it is? Where do you see that?
Overseer of the church.
Yeah, overseer. Yeah.
Bishop and General Overseer.
Anybody want to join me on Sunday?
Yeah, I'm actually really curious. I met a guy in here named Archie.
Some places they had rules about how you have to keep your building. I'm just wondering if people are in operation there's no kind of city bylaw that requires them to like fix the front or anything. No?
It's not falling down. It's probably not.
As long as them taxes paid.
We want the city to guarantee that the property taxes can be frozen for 10 years. Then we want the contractor or the developer to agree that these homes are going to be built in an affordable way, right? If we could do the whole picture, like, but again, I mean, we're going to need leaders like you to challenge, lay leaders, pastors, other residents. We're going to need a big, strong base for this, right? So I'm looking forward to seeing you on the 20th because if this is the way you're thinking, if you're passionate about that, then you're with the right team, right? I think we can put enough pressure on the churches in the neighborhood to believe in this message because if not, I mean, what other choice do we have besides to move out?
So I mean, I'm not against like other people working, but if you in an African American community, it would behoove you, to have those people working there. Another thing that I was telling people is I'd like to see the numbers because they always say they hire from the community. How many people who actually live in this community work there?
I don't think so.
But that's they caveat. They always say that.
I think they need a serious challenge, and not just like, I know our individual challenges are one thing, but I think they need an institutional challenge from neighboring institutions to say like, hey, even from the church to say like, okay, let's get back to our roots,
Yeah.
I think the church, it all is kind of stagnant now.
I believe the church is the one who leads them that way though, because everything funneled through the church.
Right.
Has this church been here for a while?
It's been here since I moved over in 2001. It's been here since then. I don't know how long it was since before I moved here.
Okay. Have you been there?
Well,
in there?
It's a heartbreaker, right?
No.
To think that, like, they're
I go to church on 95th Street.
You do?
Trinity.
we're considered a food desert. Part of the solution to the problem was creating the farm on Ogden. They handle a lot of aquaponics, and they're growing you know, vegetables and fruits and produce in there that is accessible to the community. So there's been plenty of times where I did not want to go to, you know, miles away for a grocery store. I would stop in and get kale. I would stop in there and get, you know, a lot of my produce for, you know, reasonable costs. So it's very
right
affordable. Here. It's right here. They give away free plants all the time. It's a really amazing space, and you know, people are looking forward to when it's you know, warm again, because they have the farm outside as well. Yeah.
That's cool. I didn't know this was there.
The building that used to be
I know, that's what I was going to talk about. Go ahead, go ahead.
In Harambe House?
Yeah, the Harambe House was there too. Yeah,
Harambe building.
And in it just
Pretty much where the brick is, that's where the building was, and that was Neighborhood Housing Services office there. And then that outside garden was their creation.
And then in the back, it used to be a CCDA office in the back years ago. It used to be like the parking lots right here, and the front part was apartments, NHS. There's a little, and before they even put the garden there, it was just an empty space.
It's like what policies are used to make poor people move out of inner cities? And this is one of them that people are talking about right now.
I read in the paper yesterday that we have the dirtiest air in the black community than any other communities in the city. Like on the west side, the south side.
Where's the air pollution from?
It's from them putting the certain businesses in our community, like some of the trucking things, some of the manufacturing stuff that they have. And they said that, and you know, the asthma rate is higher in our community, and they said the air is the dirtiest in the black community, like on the west side and the south side. They said with the air, when they go with the air quality in Lincoln Park, it's better. And some of the people with asthma say when they go downtown, they breathe better. I'm like, even with all the cars?
I think it's the trees. We don't have enough trees in the communities because they're not absorbing it.
They said too,
yep, that's why they got a big wave of planting trees in different communities. That's why. It's the air quality. Like go in Oak Park and ride down Lake Street. When you go from like Harlem straight through all those little cities, it's like massive trees. Like a lot of them.
And then in other neighborhoods, like right now they're building steel plants in Little Village and Pilsen. And so I know,
they mentioned Pilsen has a bad air quality as well. See the steel.
So it's like where my family's from in Elko Gardens, we have like 2 or 3 steel plants right next to our neighborhood, and cancer rates are like 5 times the national average. There's a long time environmental justice fight in Elko Gardens.
Yeah, I know that lady.
Another thing too, we're gonna have a big lead issue here in the city. You know how they've been doing all this sewer work, the city? They changed the piping for, you know, on the outside, but they're not doing it coming into people's houses, so it's dislodged a lot of lead. And they're not paying for those. They're putting that burden on people that live in those houses. And the mayor put the burden on people's houses. Also, when you pay your water bill, if you notice, it's gone up considerably. And that's because he's putting that whole thing, the sewers that he's repaired, he's sneaking that on our backs as well.
And the trash collection.
Shouldn't we be preparing so that we can be plumbers? There's a big 10-year project coming on I-290, Eisenhower Expressway, 10 years. And there's IDOT, Illinois Department of Transportation, has a training program at Dawson Tech. And they'll teach us how to do those construction jobs, so that when that does come, we can get those. And those are middle class jobs. And you look around, and you see all the development here. Well, development is going to raise property tax, and that's going to start pushing people out. We need middle class jobs in order, if nothing else, than to just stay in our own neighborhood. So, if you know anybody that's looking for a career, tell them to check out IDOT.
Okay, thank you. Okay, let's get on down the road.